So what I was talking about, I was talking about module concept. What is module? Module, in this module, we had created one folder. Inside a folder, we have a one Python file which name is modules.py. And in this modules.py, we have four things. One is X, another is Y, third one is add function, fourth one is multiplication function. Now we have created one more Python file which name is module1.py. And inside of module1.py, we are going to access those member function, those member variable which is created in the modules.py. And now what we did, just import that module, and now we are trying to print that modules.x. Then it will print x value whatever we wrote here. Similarly, if you want to print modules y value, so what you can do, modules.y, it will print y value. If you want to access this member function, what is that member function? Add. Then you can access from here. This is the benefit of the module. Once you're creating module and you want to access anywhere, you can do modules dot add function. You can call this add function. If you want to access multiplication function, the print modules dot multiplication function. And now if I can execute this, run modules1, you can see all result. I got it 22, 44, xy, addition result, multiplication, and there is one thing is coming, none. What is that none? Can you see this? See, addition result. In addition result we wrote it only but print, but why it is coming none? Okay, so we'll talk about this, don't worry, we'll talk about in a later time. So because the none itself is the huge topic, so we'll cover in this next topic. Okay, so this is about the module. Once you created a module and you can access from anywhere, just importing this thing. Let's suppose if you want to import, let's suppose I am not going to import all thing, I want to import some specific thing like x, y, x and multiplication function. How we can import that? Just do one thing, just go here, here just you just write from modules. If you're writing from modules, import what is that? X comma add. That's all. If you are importing these things, then you can access only x directly from here. Then it will print that x. And if you see why you cannot access now, only that particular function you can access directly without module name. Can you see this? And now this also I cannot access multiplication. And now if I'll execute this code, yes, happily we can execute. Can you see this? I am able to access those things. So if you want to access the particular element, then you should write a syntax like this: from package name or module name, from where you want to access, and the function name or variable name which you want to access. Right? Hope you understood this. Now just try to understand. You can write aliasing also. Means what you can do, let's suppose I don't want to call like this. I'm just going to comment and control C. I'm just pasting here, and here import modules as aliasing. I'm going to give the name as M. Means now instead of writing this x, what we can do, m dot x, I can call the x. Now similarly here also here also we can do like if you want to access y, then m dot y you can access. Similarly, if you want to access the add method, then m dot add. And similarly, if you want to access the multiplication method, then just m dot multiplication, and this all. And now if you want to execute, you can execute. Right? This is also one of the way. This is known as the aliasing. We gave the name aliasing. Just a minute. Means we are aliasing the module name with some small name. Means so that it will be easy. Rather to write a complete module name, we can write a simple m and we can do this. Okay. Now coming to the point, how you will get to know what are the functions, what are the variables are available inside of model, so that you can call here, right? That also we should know, right? means I don't know. Right now we have very limited number of functions, very limited number of variable in this model. So you are get to know, okay, this is the fourth thing we wrote and we can access. But let's suppose in future in production, if you are working and in that production we have multiple member function, multiple variables are there, how you can access those variable, how you can access those methods, right? So for that we have a inbuilt functions, which we have an inbuilt function, we have an inbuilt function which we can call inside of module 1 file, and we can check what are the function, what are the variables are available in this module file. So how we can call these things? Let's suppose, okay, let's suppose what we are trying to do right now. I'm not going to call at all these things. Now what I'm going to do, print, I'm doing print. And now what I am trying to do, just try to understand, okay? Print, and here what we can do, m.dir. Okay, just a minute. We can do one thing here. Here we can create a diff function, get all inbuilt function, or else wait, just a minute. I would like to show you something here. What you can do, you can create one function, def get modules, get get variables. And here what we are trying to do, just try to understand, okay? What we are trying to do here, we are writing here print statement, and inside a print statement we are calling directory method. This is the directory method, and you can call this directory method. And what it will does, just try to understand. I'm going to create one function like def test function. I'm going to create a test function, and inside of test function what I'm trying to write, print, this is test function. This is test function, that's all. And now let me show you one thing. I'm not writing any method here also, just I'm writing print statement at the bottom of this method, print. Here I'm calling the dir method. And let's suppose if I'm executing this, what is going to be happen? Can you see this? It is returning all the method which is available inside of this file, module 1. And now you see this annotations is what, built-ins are the what, we will discuss later on. But just see, do we have all those means method which we wrote, like test method we have, right? So we have test method. This is our Python module method. Now let's suppose if I'm writing here a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3, if I'm writing this, and now if I'm executing this file, then you can see I am getting a also, b also, and test also. Means what are the functions, whatever the variables are available in the module, that if you want to know, then what you can do, just write here one function which will give you all the attribute, get attribute. Okay, and now just try to understand, huh? And here what we are trying to do, we are writing print dir, just we are calling this. And now it come in this side, and here you can just write here def, or else print modules, modules variable name, get module variable name. Yes, please go ahead. Yeah, don't worry, I will repeat once again, don't worry. Okay, m dot get attribute. Yes, yeah, sure, don't worry, we have a many example, just a minute. Okay, don't worry. So what I'm trying to do, I want to see in the modules file what are the function, what are the variables are available. See, right now we have a two variable and 3 functions. One is get attribute, multiplication, add function. And this get attribute, what it will does, it will return me all the variables, all the function which is available inside of modules file, and that I want to see. Then only I can call from this function, right? So what I'm trying to do, in the module 1, I'm going to remove all those things right away. I'm going to remove complete things, and just I want to check What are the modules variable modules available inside of modules file? And if I'll execute this, okay, so module name, it is returning me none. It is not giving any kind of thing. Can you see this? It is not returning anything. Why it is not returning anything? Because this directory file method, if you are calling from the other method, other file, it will not return anything. It will return only in this file. Means what I'm trying to say, just try to understand, huh? So I'm going to remove this, and I am writing here print and dir, and now if I'll execute this function, then it is returning me all those things. Can you see this? Add, multiplication, x and y, right? But if I'm calling this directory function, of means I wrote it directory function here itself, means in this function only I am writing. But if I'm calling that function from here, then it is returning me none, right? So directory function, okay, what happened? Okay, this method is not there, right? So that's what it is giving. So what I was saying, if this get directory method, though get directory method was printing the all the module, but if you are calling from the other Python module, then it will return always none. So directory function will work only in the same module or current working module, in which module you are working. Means what I was saying, just try to understand, what I was saying. If you are calling this directory method here, okay, and in this module, like a module 1, if you are writing here x is equal to 2 and y, sorry, not x, let me make it a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3, and now we are going to create one method also, def test1, and here inside of method I am writing print this is my test method. Okay, and just try to understand. Okay, don't worry, we have a many example right now. It's getting started, that's all. Def test2, and here print this is my test2 method. Just try to understand. And if you want to check what are the variables are available, means what are the variables, what are the functions is available inside of this model, current model. What is my current model? Current model means in which model we are working. So in which model we are working? Module 1 is the module in which we are working. And if you want to check, just run this module and get see, can you see this? All those things we are getting. Okay, dir, why it is coming this, and okay, no worries. Okay, yeah. So what happened, why it is happening like this, just try to understand. Okay, I am going to comment this line as well, and yeah, I comment that, and let me execute once again. Okay. Now can you see this? I will talk about that, what happened at that moment. Can you see this? All those things, this annotations, leave this annotation, whatever things is coming with the underscore, that leave it. Okay, that we will discuss. Built-ins, cache, doc, file, loader, name, package, space, this is the inbuilt variables. Okay, so each module having their inbuilt function. But what is our, this is our, which is not with the underscore. So these are the variables which we have in this, right? Okay, cool. Now let's suppose we have a one modules.py, and in that modules file we have x, y, add, multiplication, these are the things are there, right? And let me comment this as well. And now if you want to access this x, if you want to access this y from the other module, then what you have to do, just import, what you can do, import module, and this is just a aliasing purpose, nothing else. It's just for aliasing purpose, import modules. And now what we are trying to do, just try to understand, just try to understand. I'm going to, okay, if you want to call, see here we have, what are those things, x, y. If you want to call the x inside of module 1, then happily we can call print modules.x, and what it will return, it will give me 22, because x value is here 22. Can you see this? X value is 22, so I can access that things here, right? Now as right now both the module at parallelly open, you can open this, you can open this, so you can see what are the functions are available. what are the function is available in this model, what are the variables are available in this model, and so that happily you can access in this module 1. But in real time it might be module is written by someone and module 1 is written by someone else. So how you will get to know what are the functions are available and what are the variables are available, so that you can call in your module? So for that, what we can do, just try to understand, just try to understand. We are going to write a thing, print directory method. So what it will does, just try to understand. I'm going to remove this directory, because if I'm writing directory method here, so it will return me current module method variable functions name. It will not print that model. So I'm going to remove this line number 13. Okay, so that I can see. Now you can see I wrote this print directory inside of this model. If I'll call this module, if I'll call this importing this module, automatically that module, what are the functions, what are the built-in methods are available that we can access. Just try to understand. Can you see this? Now you can see, right? We have add multiplication x and y in that modules file. You can see, right? We have x, y, add and multiplication. And now you understood, okay, we have this many variables, this many functions, and you can call happily here, right? So no need to go in that model. Let's suppose if you want to access the add method, so what you can do, print uh, modules dot add method, and you can happily call these things and you are getting the addition result also. Are you getting my point? Right? Okay, cool. So this is all about the modules means you are going to write a different kind of thing and you are going to check what is there. Okay, chalo. Now just try to understand. This is all about the model. Now I'm going to create one more file. Have you understood or not? Just give me yes or no. Okay, built in. Be on time, everything will be understandable. What used to be happen, just try to understand. If you are joining by just okay, so built-in variable, just try to understand. These are the variable which is known as the built-in variables, and if you want to see what it does, right? So what you can do, I'm going to write the print, and here I'm going to write underscore built-in, underscore built-ins. Just I'm going to copy paste this code and Control V, and again I am going to write print and this cached. What are their output? Just try to understand that those are the things. Okay. Oh, just a minute. Okay, why it is cache not coming? Just a minute, huh? Okay, we have cached, right? Okay, let me make the annotations first. What is annotation? I will explain what everything, don't worry. Annotations, it is throwing an error. Okay, anyways, it is throwing error, but let it to be. It is not error. It's an interpreter issue. There is no issue at all. Print, built-in, catch, and doc. Just try to understand what I'm writing here. Doc, and here we are writing file. Loader. Print name. Just copy paste this. Print package. And print specs. Okay, now let me execute this. So you can see everything I got to know. Means annotation. What is annotation does? Annotation is just basically, you can see it, these things, it will be clear once I will start the static method, static class method. So what I'm trying to see, let's suppose we have a method, def test method we have, and inside of test method I'm going to write print, this is my test method. Okay, this is my test method. And sometime what we are used to do, we used to make this function as a class method. Okay, so this is known as the annotation. So if you are making this kind of annotation, then it will represent whether this function is the class function or non-class function, right? So that is does the annotation built-ins built. Okay, cool hai? So these things will get clear. Package. Right now you are not able to understand what is package, what is space, loader, file, doc, but these are the inbuilt function. Whenever we are creating any Python file, these are the inbuilt function will get called automatically. Okay, so just try to understand name. I'm going to talk about the name at all. In case of Java, we have one method. If you remember, in case of Java, we have one method, public static void main. Okay, so this is the method which used to represent like this key, which used to represent which function has to call, right? This is the gateway of the programming, I can say, means from where the program execution will start and where the program execution will get end. I mean, this was the block. Similarly, name is the kind of variable, which will decide from where the program needs to be start. So we'll talk about more about these variables in a later session once we will start into our modular programming. Okay, so modular programming will get start, I guess, from the next week. So that time you will get to know everything right now. Okay, so I'm going to discuss about now file handling. What is file handling? This is all about the modules, nothing but just try to understand completely in a one line. If you wrote something, means there is 2 or 3 members are there in the development team and they are writing their model, they are writing their code, and you want to access those code in your code. So what you can do, you can just call that function or method or variable inside of your model. So let's suppose Mr. X written this code and you are Y and you want to access those things in your model, then just import their model and you can happily use their functions and variable. This is the benefit of the modules. Now coming to the part like okay, we are going to discuss about exception handling. But before that I should discuss about, okay, let's discuss about the exception handling only. What is exception handling? Any doubt, guys? Any doubt? Yes, because there we used to do the modular programming. That's what these things will get clear once we will start the modular programming. Just I'm going to give the glimpse of that so that you should aware of. Okay, exception handling, Python exception handle. First, before starting the exception handling, what do you mean by the exception? Okay, what do you mean by the exception? What do you mean by the, in general, what you are understanding? What do you mean by the exception? Exception is nothing but, let's suppose, just try to understand this way. Okay, just try to understand. We are writing our print test. Let's suppose we have like this 20 line of code. 20 line of code, control V, control V, control V, control V, control V, control V, control V. Let's suppose right now we have 10 line of code. In between of 10 line of code, I wrote something wrongly. Okay, I wrote something wrongly, this one. And now what happened? Just try to understand. If I'm executing this, can you see this? Up to four tests got printed, but due to this line number 8, remaining code is not getting executed, but 4 tests is got printed successfully. But due to this line of code, remaining code is getting failed. right? So if we are getting, if we are intentionally low कि मेरा code will not work in line number 8, then we should not stop our execution for this line of code. We have to handle this error by using some exception handling in the sense of, if you know the error will come in the line number 8, then why we not put these things in an exception handler, so that if any error will come in the any line, then it will not stop the execution, it will stop that particular line of code, means line number 8 will not execute, but remaining code will get execute. Okay, so in that case exception handling came into the picture. Okay, so exception is again two type. One is syntax exception. What do you mean by the syntax exception? So just try to understand. Syntax exception is nothing but, so wherever you are doing the syntactical error in the sense of what we used to say, see, in this A is what syntactical error means. We know this is the syntax error because A is not defined and you are trying to do. So this kind of error is the blunder error, and as a programmer, you should avoid this kind of error. If you are a programmer and you are doing this kind of a mistake, then it is not tolerable at all. It is not tolerable at all. As a programmer, we should not do this kind of thing. And we have to think around these things. What is means, if you are a programmer and if you are doing the syntactical error, then obviously you are a blunder mistaker, means programmer should not do any kind of syntactical error. Okay, so this is known as the syntactical exception, I must say. Now coming to the point, now there is another kind of exception which is known as the runtime exception. What do you mean by the runtime error? Let me show you the runtime error. This is the first exception. Second exception is runtime error or runtime exception, I can say. Exception is nothing but it's a kind of error only. Runtime error. Okay, so what do you mean by this? Just try to understand. Okay, I'm going to write print 2 divided by 0. I guess everyone is from the mathematical background and they must know what is this line. If you are trying to divide any number, with 0, then it will throw an error because it will give you an infinite number. And let me execute this. So you can see my fourth test is got printed successfully still, but due to this line number 11, I am getting this error. Why? Because I am a programmer. Syntactically it is correct, but interpreter is giving the error because interpreter is much intelligent, right? So interpreter get to know if you are trying to divide any number with the 0, then it will not allow you to divide these things. It will not allow you. In mathematics also we used to see, right, if you are trying to divide anything with the 0, then it will give you infinite number. And in computer system there is no existence of infinitive, right? So that's what it is throwing an exception, and this kind of error is known as the runtime. This check is arise in the runtime, right? As a programmer, we are not aware about that, right? So that's a kind of error we cannot ignore first thing. And as a programmer, if you are doing this kind of mistake, then we cannot say it's a blunder mistake, it's a programming mistake. Then means we can handle these things, right? If we are getting line number 11 some kind of error, then we should handle these things for sure. We will do that, but how to do that we'll see. But due to this line number 11, remaining code should execute properly. That is our agenda that we will do. Okay, so this kind of error is known as the runtime error, right? Understood? Now how to handle the programming? Okay, so you can see this error is known as the zero division error. Can you see this zero division error? Because we are trying to divide a number with the 0. That's what we are getting this error. Okay, so lemon definition of exception, I must say, exception, an unwanted and unexpected event that disturb the normal flow of program, which is known as the exception. So if you're wanting the definition, I must say an unwanted and unexpected event. See, this is unwanted or unexpectedly happen. I am not worrying about that. I'm a programmer. I might be from the arts background. I don't know about that. What is zero division? What is that? So I wrote this. Okay, and might be I am from the programming background, I am from the mathematic background, might be is possible this 2 is coming from the another method, this 0 is coming from the another method, and what that method is returning, how could I know, right? So in that case also it might be zero division error will come to know. So in that case normal flow should not affect if you if your remaining code is not depending on the line number 11, then you should handle this kind of exception. So now how to handle the exception, okay? What are the different type of exception? Okay, so let's discuss about different type. In case of Java, there is a two type of exception, like a checked exception and unchecked exception. But in case of Python, there is not like that checked and unchecked exception, because here everything as their runtime. Here no kind of compiler based language. Means compiler will not throw any kind of error if until unless if you are not doing syntactical error. That's all. Different type of exception. First now we seen zero division error. Zero division error. Second is type error. What is that type error? Can anyone please help me? They knows, you knows very well. You knows very well. Okay, type error. What is that type error? Just try to understand. Huh? Anyone knows what is type error? Okay, not clear, boss. Let me show you. Let's suppose you are taking input with the user, enter a number, okay? Number, and you are trying to convert, because in input will return always input string, right? So I'm trying to convert this into integer, and I'm going to store inside of this and print a. And now if I'll try to execute, just try to understand what I'm trying to do. Run exception handler, and it is asking enter a number. I am passing Rajesh. Okay, I am passing Rajesh. It will throw an error. Okay, value error or type error, you can say. What is that value error? Integer function will convert only numbers to the integer, and you are passing a string. That's again, user can pass anything, right? User doesn't know. User might be our tier 3 people, means who doesn't know what is number, what is string, what is float, what is character, right? So as a programmer, we should take care of all those things. We have to handle these things. Means with the user mistake, our remaining code should not affect. So whenever this kind of error will come, then we have to take care of that. Next, value error we had already talked about. Okay, what is that? Next is file not found error. File not found error. What is that mean by the file not found error? If you're trying to access some file and that file is not available in your system, then it will throw an error, right? And EOF, what do you mean by the EOF? Okay, end of the file error means, EOF means end of the file error. I'll talk about this, don't worry. And yeah, I guess this is all about that. Now, I told you in case of Java, we have a two kind of exception, but in case of Python, there is no kind of exception like a checked and unchecked exception. Here, everything is unchecked because it's an interpreted language. At the runtime, we are trying to check, right? In Java, something we used to check in the compile time itself. So that's what there is a two kind of error, like a one checked exception, another is unchecked exception. One checked exception, another is unchecked exception. So here, no that kind of exception for sure. Now, how to handle the exception? Okay, how to handle the exception, right? So in order to handle the exception, in case of Python, what is that? In case of Python, we have a try catch block was there. Here also is same. Here the try and except block is there, right? So just a minute. I'm going to remove all those things, or you want these things. Okay, anyways, I will try to comment this line of code. And yeah, this thing got commented, and now just try to understand. Print test. Okay, and here what we are trying to just try to understand, b here a is equal to 10 divided by 0. Okay, and now if you want to print a, then it for sure it will throw an error, no doubt at all, right? It's throwing zero division error, no worries. Now what we can do, just try to understand, this line of code is throwing error, and I am writing one more line here, print after exception handle, आफ्टर एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग. ठीक है, एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग के बाद ये कोड चल रहा है, राइट? सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू डू, जस्ट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, I am going to handle this exception. If there is error, though it is error, remaining code should work. So what we can do, just minute, here we can write here try block, and inside of try block, whatever field you are thinking that error is coming from here, so control X, and it will try to, if in these two lines, if error will come, then it will not throw an error, it will handle. So it will check, and who will handle? Exception block will handle. So try except is the block exe, okay, so except except accepts. Okay, what is that exception? Zero division error, right? So what I am trying to do, if in these two line number 32 and 33, zero division error will come, as I'm going to give the name as a error, and I'm trying to print error. That's all. And now can you see, just I'm executing this code, okay? And now you can see test method got executed, means test wala print statement got executed successfully, test wala block got executed successfully, and this also after exception handler also got executed successfully. What happened, just try to understand in this. Okay, what happened, just try to understand in this field. So here I thought, okay, it's a zero division error, got it, it try to handle, and it throw inside of exception block, and in exception block we are getting this error, division by zero error, right? What is division by zero? Because you are trying to divide a number with the zero, and interpreter or any kind of mathematic model will not allow you to divide a number with the zero. Make sense? So that's what the remaining code flow, execution flow will not stop. Okay, so this is the very, very important here. Now the question is arising, okay Rajesh, how I will get to know this line will throw zero division error? How you get to know? Okay, you got that error, so that you are trying to find it out. But as a programmer, at the writing the code, during the writing of code, how I will get to know that this error is coming from zero division error? Yes, we have a solution. We have a solution for that. If you doesn't know what kind of error it is, then always better go with exception block. Exception block. What is that exception block? Exception is the parent kind of exception handle, which can handle any kind of exception. Any kind of exception. Okay? So as a programmer, I am not referring always use exception as handle, means except parent class exception handler, because this is the your practice, you are doing the programming, right? You should know what kind of error is coming, and a program always should catch a known exception, not unknown exception, because then only you will get to know what kind of error might be occurred in the production, right? And if you are handling all those things with the exception block, then how you will get to know your code is where your code is not working, right? So always better. So see, if see here, though we are getting division by zero, but exception block can handle any kind of error. Let's suppose if I'm writing type error, if I'm going to write here type error, okay, type error, then what will happen? Just try to understand. Huh? If I'm executing, then it is not able to handle those exceptions, because you are getting zero division error and you are trying to handle by this. You want to learn data scientist and you went to the Java developer, right? How he can teach you data science, how he can teach you ML, right? You have to come that person so that he can teach you. Understood? The similar type of thing. Here we are getting zero division error and you are trying to handle with the type error. You cannot handle. ठीक है, चलो. In single try block, you can write multiple exception handler. Means what I'm trying to just try to understand. Huh? Be with me. Copy paste, and instead of writing type error, I am writing exception. And now let's see. Now happily it is working. Means what is trying to do, we have a multiple faculties like data scientist faculties, automation faculty, Java developers, and all trainers are there. Okay, and okay, you came up with the one problem. Okay, you came up with the problem, Rajesh, I want to solve this problem and I'm trying to solve the problem. If the problem will not solvable by me, then what I will say, okay, this problem is beyond my scope, I will refer to some one person. So here we are doing the same thing. We have a two trainer. One trainer name is type error, another trainer name is, he is the trainer all-rounder kind of thing. He can solve any kind of problem. Okay, so if it will check, here error came, it will check whether this problem can be solved by this exception handler or this exception handler. Okay, if the error will not solvable by this, then it will throw here. अब अभी समझना, ठीक है? So what I'm trying to do, I am going to write here zero division error, and here I'm going to print something. Print handle by parent exception handler. Okay, and here I am writing one message, print handle by child exception handler. Now, which block will execute? Very favorite interview question. Very typical interview question. It's tricky question. It's not a typical, tricky question, I must say. Okay. Now, if I'll try to execute this, which block get executed? Handle by child exception or parent exception? No, child. See, handle by child exception, na? Is it this line of code executed? Handle by parent exception? Where you can see this, right? So if, see, you got your answer in this line, in this faculty only. So why you have to go to the other faculty? Are you able to understand? See, you came up with the problem in this line. Okay, you came up with the problem with this line and you came to me, Rajesh, I want to solve this problem. If I solve your problem successfully, then why you will waste to the another trainer time? Make sense? So this block will not execute. If this faculty means Rajesh cannot solve this problem, then I will pass your question to that person who can solve this problem. Make sense? Think in a real time direction, real time way. Are you able to understand? Any doubt? Just keep, sorry. Yes, okay, what you are saying, okay, I got your point. Let's suppose if file not found error, okay, and if you are trying to handle with this, okay, does this throwing this kind of error? No. Let's suppose I am going to execute. Now see, handle by parent handler, right? See this handler, this faculty, its name is X, trainer name is X, and he is not able to solve this kind of error, then it will for sure, it will throw this kind of error, right? It will throw this kind of error, and it will throw this kind of error for sure. And let me execute these things, and yes, okay, so fine. So understood, right? If you coming up with the problem and you come up with to me, means Rajesh, I want to solve this problem, and if I'm not able to solve the problem, then what I will do, I will pass your question to the next person, next connected person who can solve your problem, right? So this is that kind of way. And this is the trainer name who is kind of all-rounder, who can solve any kind of problems. Got it? Any doubt? Any doubt, guys? Yes. So you input function will return the string value, and your job is to convert the string into the number. And here we are passing int. Here we are passing int, and we are taking the another number y is equal to int input, and here we are passing, hey user, enter second number. Okay, second number, user will enter second number, no doubt at all, it will work fine up to this, no doubt, and we can work around that. And up go. Now what we are trying to do, we are trying to print x divided by y. Okay, x divided by y, and it's fine, right? And let's suppose if I'm trying to execute, right? If I'm trying to execute, it is asking enter number, I pass 2. It is asking second number, okay, I'm passing 3. It is giving me output, fine, it is giving me output, no doubt. Okay, once again I'm executing this code, okay, and this time it is asking, okay, 2, and second number I'm passing Rajesh, because I'm a user, I'm a user's fellow, I can pass anything, right? And if I'm executing enter, then it is throwing value error, because you want to convert that Rajesh into number, how it will convert, right? So first error, we might get value error. Okay, I'm going to copy paste here, value error. Second thing, just try to understand second thing. Let's suppose what are the different cases might be occur, right? We are doing the testing here. We develop the code, now we are doing the testing. Now here we are passing 4, and here we are passing 0. Now 0 division error, okay? Any error might be occur, right? So what we can do, okay, so two kind of error might be occur, okay? And now this block of code, what we are trying to do, this block of code we can write inside of try and except block, try and except block, and inside of this try and except block I'm going to write control X and control V, that's all. And now what kind of error might be occur? Except the two kind of error, it might be value error or it might be 0 division based on the user input, right? Except exception, oh, not exception, value error, except value error as V print handle due to the value error. Okay, and now we are going to write another trainer, we are going to call it another trainer. If mathematics problem will come, X will solve, if chemistry problem will come, Y will solve. So now I'm going to call the chemistry teacher, okay? Who is that chemistry teacher? 0 division error, right? So here control V as 0, okay, and here we are writing print handle due to 0 division error, okay, due to 0 division. Now just try to understand, and now though it will handle, means it will handle, right? It will handle, for sure it will handle. And now here we are writing print and last statement, means it will handle and this last statement will get executed, or let it to be removed that. And now I'm trying to run this, and if I'm passing here, samajna, if I'm passing here 3 and here also 3, and we are getting 1 as output, no worries. Now once again let me execute this code, and here now this time I'm passing 2 and another number I'm passing Rajesh, okay? And see, handle due to the value error, means okay, code run executed successfully and handle due to the value error. Now third time I'm trying to execute, and here I'm passing 3. It was mathematic problem value error was mathematic problem. Now I am going to come up with the chemistry problem, and here I am passing 0. This is my chemistry problem, and if I am going to pass enter, then chemistry teacher is giving the solution. Hey users fellow, you want to do this thing, you want to divide a number with the 0, so you cannot handle, so 0 division error, right? So this block got executed, right? Means this teacher cannot solve the problem, and this teacher can happily solve the problem, right? So this is all about. And yeah, you must thinking, okay, if exception block can handle all kind of error, then why we should not try the exception block only? Boss, it depends on the situation. See, in this line of code, I know this kind of error will come, then considerable. If any other error will come, then we should notify to the user. We should notify to the developers, right? So we should not use exception block every time, right? So so whatever error you awareing about that, okay, this kind of error will come, then we should handle. Apart from this, if any kind of error, let's suppose sometimes server error, file not found error, then we have to take care of this thing, right? If file, you want to access that file and you are not awareing about that and your code is running, then how you will get to know that some file is missing? So we should know. So always try to handle those error, known error only. But if you are thinking, okay, this line of code is not that much of important, then okay, I am okay with that. Use exception block. Okay, fine. Anything in your mind? If any points you are able to explore, then please ask me. Okay. 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 Now next block is coming. Okay, I'll take more 10 minutes. I know we are crossing our time, but no worries. Okay, we have one more. Yes, who is this? Edwin. Yes, Edwin. Yeah. Yes, we can do. Here we are doing the same thing. If you can go to this coding, let's suppose this X and Y will come from the other model, then in that case we can do, right? Okay, no worries, I can give you that example as so. Okay, def समझना, हाँ, def return, sorry, get first number, समझना, just try to understand. It's a good question only. I'm always deserving the questions. And here what we are trying to do, I am not calling X here, I am calling X here. Okay, and that's all, right? It's correct, right? And now, or guess, I guess enter not first number, get numbers. And here we are passing second number also. I am trying to call here. Okay, try to understand. And now this X and Y are, it will return what? It will return X and Y, return X comma Y. Okay, now this get number, okay, and here we are calling that get number, and it will return what? It will return X and Y, right? So I'm going to store inside of X comma Y, that's all, equal to this. Understandable? Now just try to understand, huh? Just try to be focused here. Okay, so we did same thing. Edwin, are you able to understand what we did? You were saying, right, it's a dependent on these functions now, right? And now we are going to call that variable here. We are going to call that variable. So now just try to understand. I'm going to call this, and here this function internally call this function, right? And here I am passing enter a number. I'm passing here 3, and here I'm passing Rajesh. Okay, handle by value error, right? This will handle that also, right? And if again, if I am executing, yes, here I am passing 4, and here passing 0. Yes, 0 division error also will help handle. See, here we are getting output from another function, right? In real time also we used to do the same thing, right? So this is also possible, right? It can handle. Actually calculation we are doing in this block here only, right? So here only we are doing the exception handling. We are not dividing the number in this method, right? If you will handle exception handler here, then always there is no use at all, right? Okay, now understandable, right? Okay, now we are going to talk about finally block. Finally block. What do you mean by the finally block? Okay, print. In Python also this block is available. Finally block executed. Executed. Okay. Okay. Just try to understand what we are trying to do. Okay. I'm not going to call. I'm going to comment this. Let me put on a charge. My laptop is charge. Okay. Cool. Just try to understand. I have commented this line. Okay, and if the value error will come, then this block cannot handle. But if your remaining code is very crucial, then finally block. See, I told you, if any error will come, then remaining code will not execute it. And if you are not handling that error, right, if you are not handling that error, right, just try to understand. Okay, what I'm not going to discuss about the finally right now. I'll comment this line. And what I'm trying to say, just try to understand first problem. What is problem? Our print important code. This is important code. This is important code. And let me execute this code. And here it is asking 1 and I'm passing Rajesh. Now it is throwing error and important code is not running. Right? Why? Because it's a value error and we don't have that kind of faculty who can solve value error. Right? So it is throwing error. But this is the important code. We have to execute anyway. If my error is handling or not, then in that case, you should use finally block. Whether the error will handle or not, execution should happen. Means what I'm trying to say, just try to understand. Here I am passing 3 and here I am passing Rajesh. Can you see this? Can you see this? Error is coming, but still my finally block is still my finally block executed. When it's remaining code means finally block will execute whether your error exception is getting handled or not. Right? Any doubt in finally block? Right. Okay. So fine, I guess I am done with this and everything is clear right now. What is the finally block does and everything is up to the mark. Okay. Yeah, cool. So thanks guys, this is all about that. From tomorrow the modular programming will get start. Oops concept, so be on time. And this is my one of the punctual. If you are getting late, then let me know. Okay, because